सबने वो सीन देखा है। हीरो पहली बार लड़की को देखता है, उसे प्यार हो जाता है, लड़की मना करती है, फिर गाना होता है, फिर लड़का लड़की को मना लेता है, फिर दोस्ती होती है, फिर प्यार होता है और फिर शादी होती है और हम सब ताली बजाते हैं और हम सब ताली बजाते हैं। आज का टॉपिक सिंपल है। बॉलीवुड ने हमें एक झूठ सिखाया है। क्या? कि परसिस्टेंस इक्वल्स लव। अगर आप पीछे पड़ जाओ तो एक न एक दिन वो पिघल जाएगी। इस आइडिया ने, इस ट्रोप ने रोमांस में क्राइम के लिए जगह बना दी है और कंसेंट को ऑप्शनल बना दिया है।
बरसों से पागल हूं, तुम ही मेरा पागलपन हो, तुम ही मेरा जुनून हो। आई लव यू किरण।
आप सब मुस्कुरा रहे थे ना, मैं भी मुस्कुरा रही थी क्योंकि ये फनी है, लवेबल है, मेमोरेबल है। लेकिन ज़रा सोचिए, तू हाँ कर या ना कर, तू है मेरी किरण। ये आदमी एक्चुअली क्या कर रहा था? वो फ़ोन पे कॉल करता था, घर के बाहर खड़ा रहता था, नाम को ऑब्सेसिवली रिपीट करता था। उसने लड़की की शादी तोड़ने की कोशिश भी की, उसकी ज़िंदगी में घुस आता था। हम इस बिहेवियर को क्या कहेंगे? एक लड़की है जिसके साथ ये बिहेवियर हुआ। एंड ऑफ द डे उस लड़की की उस वजह से मौत हो गई। शी वॉज एक्चुअली किल्ड। तो क्या हम इसे रोमांटिक कहेंगे या क्या हम इसे क्राइम कहेंगे? डर फिल्म ने एक डेंजरस काम किया, एक स्टॉकर को हीरो का दर्जा दिया।
Hello, myself Advocate Shyam Asawa. So I am a volunteer with Snehalaya and handling legal cases of Snehalaya. Here, when we talk regarding stalking in Indian context, mostly stalking is not taken as a crime, and actually stalking is the first foundation of the crime. Many a times, if stalker is at that stage of stalking, he is not prohibited. Legal action is not taken against him. So the upper levels will be of unnamed serious crimes. So there are examples, the stalkers which were not initially prosecuted, they have went to the extent of committing murder. So this is the foundation in respect of crimes related to women, and basically those which are related to physical activity of women. So this is a very serious stage, we think, and that's why the workshop is totally focused on this stalking.
Hello, hi, I'm Dr. Tejaswini Miskin. I work as a consultant psychiatrist in the District Mental Health Program of District Hospital Ahilyanagar. So today I'll be discussing more about the psychology, perhaps the psychopathology of people who are involved in stalking. Just to start with the psychopathology or the framework of psyche of the stalker, it is, I would think more in terms of the childhood. We deal with people who struggle with childhood traumas and parents difficulties in growing up and certain conditioning which is imposed on them when they are growing up. So if someone who has a background of parents who has a lot of abuse when they were growing up, or the the depiction of love is very different when you compare it with the consensual form of love. And he might think that, okay, rejection is okay, that's fine, I need to try harder and even more harder to, to grab the attention of the victim. So this might get into some from a form of criminal activities, some attacks, homicides. So I feel we see stalking, so I feel it is more of a slow homicide because it's killing the self-respect and the self-esteem of the victim. And certain mental illnesses where the person is delusional, they lack love and TLC from family, and they feel that I have to look for love and I must find love. So that can also engage the person into an obsessive form of attachment, and they can just misinterpret any kind action as love. If they don't get some form of professional attention to these kind of bodily symptoms or the feeling of always being on edge, they develop PTSD, which is post traumatic stress disorder, and it is a complex form of psychiatric disorder which needs medications at times to, just help them to calm down, to reduce the anxiety, sleep better. They might wake up with some very terrible nightmares, might struggle sleeping, eating, drinking. I would encourage people to seek out and reach out for help if they are into these form of behaviors, either a victim, even a perpetrator. So making them more aware and being more compassionate towards the perpetrator is equally important, because I think victims, they get all the attention and care, but the perpetrator, maybe they might always feel rejected. And again, this sense of rejection is what got them into these behaviors, because they started to seek validation from the external world, isn't it? I would say that safety is another thing. Like, the person must have developed certain behaviors which doesn't feel safe. Person doesn't feel safe in themselves, in their bodies, in their relationship. And this kind of approach, especially in a developing country like India, people are always, in rush and always on edge, and they just want quick fix to everything, quick solutions. So rather than just rushing into the process of healing, being patient and being kind to yourself when you're healing, and allowing all your darkest parts to come up and surface, I would rather, motivate people to work on themselves, face their demons, and start the process of healing with some external good professional support. Thank you so much.
Stalking is not considered a serious crime in India, though it's very serious according to the law. But in India, in most of the police stations, the police corps treat it as a non-cognizable offense. And many a times, the women are afraid of filing a complaint to the police station because it has a serious consequences also. Uh, Most of the time the family never supports a girl or a woman, and immediately her job is stopped and her education is stopped, and for the girls are concerned, they are forced to do the marriage immediately. So these are the serious consequences, and we have seen that in many cases the girls and the women are raped, are killed and treated very brutally. There were acid attacks, there were severe attacks on them when they have not responded. And the civil society is very passive. Even if people notice that there is a courting, there is a stalking, and there is a molesting, but people keep cool, they never get involved in such cases, they never support a victim. And that's the reason why Snehalaya has organized this state level workshop. But this is the first in the nation of this kind, and we hope that we will create a network of civil society to give protection, support to all stalking victims, and together we can bring the change.
Hi, my name is Caroline. I am based in the UK where I work as a stalking expert. I've been invited to come and attend the stalking workshop at Snehalaya. India has very good stalking law which is underused due to the lack of understanding of this crime. The 2-day workshop is an excellent start to this awareness. Their range and skills of speakers will cover all areas to give a good understanding. I am honoured to have been asked to participate from a UK perspective. Our stalking laws were updated in 2012 and we have worked hard to raise the awareness by training and working alongside professionals. I welcome this opportunity to use my skills and experience to assist in a better understanding of stalking in India to ensure women are better protected from this terrible crime, causing them to live in fear.